Have you ever wondered if something as simple as a lack of sunlight could be the reason behind some strange symptoms? Today, we're going into a very important aspect of health and wellness, and going into the 11 unusual vitamin D deficiency symptoms that most people have never even heard of. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. Watch till the end to discover all the unusual symptoms of vitamin D deficiency that can help you improve your health. We all know the common symptoms like lower back pain, high blood pressure, or even depression. But I can bet you haven't come across these surprising signs of vitamin D deficiency. Now, I'll break this up into two sections. The first part will cover the symptoms you need to know, without too much detail. For those who want a deep dive into how and why these symptoms develop. Stay tuned for the second part, where we get a little more scientific. First, a quick note about vitamin D and how it operates in the body. Did you know that out of the 25,000 genes in your body, about 10% are influenced by vitamin D? And yet, when you get a blood test, it only measures inactive vitamin D in the blood, not what's actually happening at the cellular level. This means that typical vitamin D tests might not give you the full picture of how your body is actually using it. Number 1. Head sweating. This might surprise you, but head sweating, especially in infants, is often linked to vitamin D deficiency. But it doesn't stop with kids. Teens and adults can experience this too. So, if you or someone you know is sweating more in the head area than anywhere else, it might be worth checking vitamin D levels. Number 2. Excessive night sweats. Even if your bedroom is cool, you may find yourself sweating at night to the point where your pillow feels damp by morning. These night sweats can sometimes be a silent indicator that your vitamin D levels are too low. This isn't just uncomfortable. It could be a warning sign your body needs more vitamin D. Number 3. Mood swings. Do you or someone close to you experience emotional roller coasters, swinging from happiness to sadness, irritation, or anger? Vitamin D plays a massive role in regulating mood and emotional balance, affecting neurotransmitters in the brain that control emotions. If these mood swings are happening frequently, low vitamin D could be a culprit. Number 4. Lack of motivation and procrastination. Struggling to stay productive or get things done? It sounds surprising, but low motivation has been connected to vitamin D deficiency. If you're feeling backlogged or find it hard to get motivated, it could be more than just a mindset. It might actually be your body signaling for more vitamin D. Number 5. Panic attacks. Many people link panic attacks to vitamin B1 deficiency, which is true. However, vitamin D also plays a significant role here. Panic attacks are intense, sudden feelings of fear or anxiety, and they're connected to hormones and neurotransmitters like serotonin, both influenced by vitamin D. If panic attacks are an issue, increasing vitamin D might help you find some relief. You can even pair this with breathing techniques, like nose breathing, for extra benefits. Number 6. Achiness in the pelvis, lower back, hips, or upper legs. Vitamin D is essential for healthy bones, so it makes sense that achiness in these areas could signal a deficiency. If you experience consistent discomfort in your pelvis, lower back, or legs, it's worth checking your vitamin D intake, as low levels can lead to weakened bones and ongoing pain. Continuing with these fascinating insights into vitamin D deficiency symptoms, here's what happens with low levels of vitamin D. Number 6. Achiness. Inside the bones. You may notice an achy sensation inside your bones rather than sharp pain. This is often due to the gradual loss of bone density, which weakens the bone structure from the inside. The good news? It's surprisingly easy to fix with higher doses of vitamin D, typically around 10,000 to 20,000 IUs per day. If you're worried about toxicity, consider this. Spending 40 minutes in the summer sun can naturally produce around 20,000 IUs of vitamin D in your skin. This amount is safe, but issues only arise with excessive, prolonged intake over time. Number 7. Loss of muscle strength. Vitamin D also plays a crucial role in muscle function. Without it, calcium levels in the muscles can dip, affecting muscle contraction and overall strength. Vitamin D not only supports muscle contraction, but is also essential for muscle formation. This can especially impact major muscle groups like those in your legs and shoulders, where you may notice a decrease in strength or power. Vitamin D even helps regulate pain, which is why low levels can leave you feeling weak or in discomfort. Number 8. Stiffness in joints. If you're experiencing stiffness in areas like your knees and fingers, it might be related to vitamin D's role in maintaining cartilage and collagen. Stretching or moving might trigger this stiffness, sometimes affecting your chest area and even impacting breathing. Vitamin D helps reduce inflammation and is essential for keeping your cartilage and joints flexible. Number 9. Persistent fatigue. Those tiny energy factories in your cells, known as mitochondria, rely on vitamin D to function effectively. When vitamin D levels are low, mitochondria struggle to produce energy, leaving you feeling drained and fatigued all the time. So, if you're frequently tired without a clear reason, it could be worth exploring your vitamin D intake. Number 10. Mental fog. Low vitamin D can even affect your cognitive speed. Think of it as having too many applications open on your computer at once. Your brain can slow down, and you may struggle with quick thinking or clear focus. Vitamin D is essential for brain function, and without enough of it, your ability to concentrate and think on your feet can suffer. Number 11. Lack of satisfaction after meals. When vitamin D is low, your body might not feel fully nourished after meals, leading to an endless cycle of eating, but never feeling satisfied. This can be due to nutrient-poor foods or even specific addictive additives. If you're not getting enough vitamin D, your hunger cues can be off, often causing you to overeat. Now, let's take a deeper look at why these symptoms occur. Head sweating, for example, is related to vitamin D's impact on the autonomic nervous system. The head has more sweat glands than other parts of the body, so a deficiency can lead to excess sweating, especially in the head area. This ties into night sweats too. Vitamin D is known to help regulate an overactive immune system, which is essential in keeping inflammatory responses in check. When vitamin D levels drop, it can disrupt this balance, triggering mechanisms like sweating to cope. The hypothalamus, a tiny control center in your brain, becomes overstimulated and can drive up heat production, which then leads to sweating as a compensatory reaction. Mood swings. Frequent mood swings, where emotions shift from happy to irritable or even angry, are often rooted in the adrenal glands, which are influenced by the HPA axis, a circuit involving the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands. When vitamin D is deficient, cortisol levels tend to rise, potentially due to the body's efforts to manage inflammation. However, this spike in cortisol can lead to emotional imbalances and a heightened stress response. Low motivation. Lack of motivation may also be linked to vitamin D deficiency. The brain has a tiny nerve bundle known as the nucleus accumbens, which is essential for motivation and the reward system. This part of the brain depends on dopamine, a neurotransmitter related to getting things done, completing tasks, and feeling accomplished. Without enough vitamin D, dopamine levels can suffer, resulting in low motivation and a lack of drive. Panic attacks. Vitamin D deficiency can lead to higher levels of anxiety and even panic attacks. This intense fear and anxiety are tied to a brain structure called the amygdala, often described as the emotional center of the brain. The amygdala, which regulates fear, depends on vitamin D to function well. Additionally, serotonin, a happy hormone that keeps anxiety at bay, is regulated by vitamin D. So without it, feelings of anxiety and fear can become heightened. Achiness in the pelvis, lower back, and upper thighs. This achiness can indicate a condition known as osteomalacia, which is essentially the softening of bones due to severe vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D helps regulate calcium absorption in the intestines, enhancing it by 20 times. Without enough vitamin D, bones can become soft and brittle, increasing the risk of fractures. If blood tests show low vitamin D levels, taking about 10,000 to 20,000 IUs per day can help restore those levels, supporting bone health. Number 7. Loss of muscle strength. Vitamin D also plays a critical role in muscle function, particularly in calcium regulation. Calcium is essential for muscle contraction, and without adequate vitamin D, calcium levels can drop, making it harder for muscles to contract. This often leads to generalized muscle pain and achiness, especially in the legs and shoulders, where strength is essential. Number 8. Joint stiffness, particularly in knees and fingers. Vitamin D deficiency can also result in joint stiffness, especially in areas like the knees and fingers. Cartilage, which cushions our joints, requires vitamin D for maintenance. Without it, cartilage can become inflamed, leading to stiffness and discomfort, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees and hips. If you use a computer frequently, you may notice stiffness in your fingers as well. This deficiency can even contribute to osteoarthritis over time. The symptoms of vitamin D deficiency are broad and diverse, affecting not only our bones and muscles, but also our mental health, mood, and motivation. So if you're experiencing any of these unusual symptoms, consider having your vitamin D levels checked. To address vitamin D deficiency, let's start by looking at number 9, chronic fatigue syndrome. This condition is often associated with low vitamin D for two primary reasons. First, vitamin D impacts mitochondrial function, which is crucial because mitochondria are the energy factories of our cells. With a deficiency, mitochondrial numbers and efficiency drop, leaving you feeling chronically tired. Second, vitamin D deficiency weakens immune resilience, potentially reactivating latent viruses like the Epstein-Barr virus, often linked to fatigue. Many people with chronic fatigue syndrome have experienced intense stress or loss, which, combined with vitamin D deficiency, can make symptoms even worse. A high daily dose of 50,000 IUs of vitamin D3 may be needed initially to help replenish your levels and counteract fatigue. Number 10 is mental sluggishness or slowness with decision-making. Vitamin D supports the brain's front region, which manages concentration, decision-making, and focus. Even communication between neurons relies on vitamin D, so when levels are low, mental processes slow down. This can feel like a fog, making it difficult to stay engaged or make clear decisions. Finally, number 11 is a lack of satisfaction after eating. When we eat, hormones like leptin tell our brain that we're full. However, without enough vitamin D, leptin's effectiveness decreases, meaning you might feel hungry even after a meal. Additionally, vitamin D supports insulin function, which helps deliver nutrients to cells. With insufficient vitamin D, insulin resistance may develop, leaving you unsatisfied and more prone to overeating. Taking vitamin D enhances insulin sensitivity, which in turn aids nutrient absorption, helping you feel satisfied. If these unusual symptoms sound familiar, it may be time to consider your vitamin D levels. Pair your intake with essential cofactors like magnesium, vitamin K2, zinc, and B6 to maximize effectiveness and avoid issues. Understanding and addressing these symptoms could be the key to better health. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.